How to use the website builder in StoreConnect. So I'm in the back end of Salesforce right now. I'm in the StoreConnect app. Here I'm just on my performance dashboard. Now let's go into my store record. And here at the top right corner, you'll notice there's a button, Website Builder. So if we click on that, you'll first notice that there's an error. It says, looks like you don't have permission to access the builder. Please assign a store user role and try again. So basically the website builder allows different users in Salesforce to access the website and make changes to that. However, there needs to be some kind of permission system set up so that not just anybody could go in there and change things at any time. Hence, we need to set up this store user role. So if we go down to StoreConnect navigation and search roles, open up store roles, and let's create a new store role. So this is the roles that you can create for accessing the website builder. So we can give this a name, such as content editor. The type should say content changes. And then here you can select the level. So you can allow someone to do editing, to make comments on the edits, or be an approver of the edits, which would then send these changes live to the website. So I'll set this as editor, save this. This has now created a new store role in StoreConnect. So now to this, I will add a store user role. So I'll click new, and then I can just find a user in my Salesforce org to assign to this store user role. As you can see, here's the role that I've just created, the content editor. And then here you can choose if this role applies to just this store, a group of stores, or all your stores in StoreConnect. So I'll just assign it to a store. I'll select my individual store and then click Save. All right, excellent. So the store user role is now allowing me as a user to access the website builder. So I'll go back to my store record now, click website builder, and I can now access it. And here's the basic interface. As you can see, it's similar to other website builders that you'd see. And this allows for a very simple visual way to change the content blocks on your website. You can see if I hover over a section or a content block, it will be highlighted. And then I have basic controls on the right side here to manipulate it. So for instance, I could shift the content blocks around. I could delete a content block, or by clicking the edit button, it opens up this content block's template record and shows the fields which match the fields of the record in the back end. So here I could change things such as the identifier, which is simply for use in the back end, change the alignment of it, change things like the title. And if I make changes, you'll see that it updates live here in this preview. And these are all the same fields which are available in this content block record in the back end. Only now you're seeing a visual representation of it updating live as you edit. In this example, I can also change the label, which is on this button here, and also change the link to the path of the page which this links to, as well as change the entire background image which is displayed here. You can also click Show All Fields to see even more fields from the record. Once you're happy with this, you can click Apply Changes. Now these changes are made here for me to see, however they have not yet been applied to the live site yet. Also of use is the different preview options here to preview the website on different devices. You can use this button to exit the site builder. And over here we have global settings for the entire site. So here we can set basic SEO information for the store. And then here you'll notice several other lookup fields which are exactly the same as how they are in the store record, such as setting particular content blocks for use in the header and the footer. I can switch out entire menu systems and footer menus, as well as assign a different default homepage, change my logo, which is here on the top left corner, as well as other handy lookup fields such as setting placeholder images. And then I can either apply these changes or cancel these changes. I then have the styles menu here, which opens up my global CSS field, where I can adjust the primary and secondary color palette for the store, such as the color of this button here. And then also I have the scripts menu, where I can insert any global JavaScript for the site. I can visit any other page on my store by simply clicking the links to the page. And here, if I highlight the page itself and click Edit, I have options to change the page information, or clicking an individual content block, I can of course edit this content block. If I want to add more content blocks to the page, I can simply use this Add Content Block section at the bottom, click, and here it will come up with all the content block templates for you to choose what kind of new content block you want to create. So for instance, I could add a new image, and then use the image lookup to search for any media which I've previously uploaded, and have this load directly into the page. Once you've made any and all desired changes to the page and content blocks, you can then finally click Submit Changes. And what you'll now notice happens is that it will revert to its original state. However, the changes that I've now made have been stored and sent for approval. So now if I return to the back end, and if I go StoreConnect Navigation, go to Custom Content, open Content Changes, All Content Changes. Here it automatically creates a list record of all the changes which are made to the website through the editor. So here were the ones which were just done now. If I open this up, here you'll have an exact list of every single content change that was made while I was in the editor. So each one of these can now be individually reviewed. You'll see here 2 actions where something was created and 4 actions where something was updated. So if I open up one of these, you'll see that it was to do with this content block, and here were the 2 changes within the content block. I can open up one of the changes, and this was the change on the About Us page. So here was the original text, as seen here, replaced by the new value that's now being suggested. So in this way, everything can be correctly reviewed, and then once accepted, the status can be changed to approved, and then finally published. By clicking Save Now, the published changes will be immediately pushed to the live website version, or it can even be scheduled automatically to go live at a future date. So saving that now. Now if I go back to my live website, refresh it, fantastic. We now have the 2 changes which I made to the text and including the new image. And that's the bare basics of how the website builder works in StoreConnect.